Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 12 June 2017. Got a little bit of an initial review for you on a knife from a new knife company, sort of. From New Sheffield in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, the Escanaba Gladstone area. This is from Hyken Knives in Escanaba, Michigan. Interesting logo, I think. Hyken Knives, Escanaba, Michigan, pure knife. Imagine if Tim Allen were doing this video. Pure knife. So what is Hyken Knives? Well, let's sort of get some stuff out of the way here and we'll walk through this thing. Hyken Knives is a company owned by Reed Hyken, who is also the proprietor of Sharpshooter Sheaths and the North Star Trading Post in Escanaba. Reed is a cigar aficionado, a knife collector, a gun dude. He is just an Upper Peninsula, Michigan man. Good friend of Mike Stewart at Bark River. And, you know, the line of Hyken Knives, which includes the Harpoon, the model we're looking at tonight, the Light Hunter, which is a swedged drop point hunting knife, and the Bushcrafter, which is a Scandivex bushcraft blade. All three models built on this same handle. Well, the line of Hyken Knives it's kind of a cool project, I think. You know, a knife aficionado, a knife collector, someone who builds accessories for knives, has decided after some years and decades being around the hobby, you know, I think I could design some fixed blades, and I think maybe I could have my buddy Mike over at Bark River make them for me. Does this scenario sound familiar to you at all? Yeah, I know this guy who has been collecting knives for 40 years or so, and he works on them every day of his working life. And after so many decades passed, he decided, you know, he'd like to design a knife, maybe two, and have his buddy Mike Stewart make them for him. Yeah, that'd be me. So Reed has this line of Hyken Knives, and we're going to look specifically at the Harpoon. But first, let's show you what comes with it. We do have the white corrugated cardboard, obligatory New Sheffield packaging. But along with that, to commemorate the first run of Hyken Knives, you're going to get this little leather key fob, arrowhead. Okay, and it comes with a P38 can opener to boot. Also inside the box, of course with the tissue paper wrap cardboard sleeve, as you're always going to see, comes this business card. And it says Hyken Knives, Escanaba, Michigan, USA, pure knife. Thanks for choosing a Hyken knife. We make every one like we would be carrying it ourselves and back it with our unconditional pure knife warranty. Warranty and contact info on the back. And here it is. We believe pure knife also means pure warranty, which unconditionally covers the knife for anything that happens through its lifetime. Anything means anything, from a snapped off tip to a chipped edge or a cracked handle. No matter how it happens, yes, it's that simple. Hyken Knives are guaranteed against defects for the life of the knife, period. If you have a problem with your knife, or if you simply want us to make it like new, even just resharpening to factory specs, send it in and we'll take care of it free of charge. For shipping information, call or visit our website, blah, blah, blah. Okay? How about that? Does this warranty sound familiar? Yes! It's just like the Bark River warranty. But maybe in this case, you know, you have Reed, you know, kind of cracking the whip on Mike. Maybe you get a little better warranty response from Hyken Knives. So, also in the box comes this pouch style bushcraft sheath. It also, not only is it a belt loop carry, but it has this rare earth magnet mounted in the sheath. So if you carried the knife in any kind of upside down configuration, it just isn't going anywhere. See? that really holds. Alternate carry methods can be configured by the user. We got a couple eyelets through the belt loop here. We got an eyelet down here. Just a super handsome sheath. I would imagine it's a sharpshooter, although this one is embossed with the Hyken Knives logo. Very nicely done. Should we look at the knife? Yeah, let's look at the knife. So here it is, a decidedly Harpoon blade. Interesting, I think the peak of the Harpoon is just about the midpoint of the knife blade. They are fashioned from CPM 154 powdered metallurgy steel from Crucible. The stock thickness is 5/32, not too thick, but thick enough to do anything you want. We have a saber grind from about 2/3 of the height of the blade down and comes to a really skinny dimension behind the edge. I just love a robust convex that is ground thin at the edge, and this is that. The blade length is 4 7/16 inches. The handle length is 4 1/4, which I think gives us an overall length of about 8 11/16. To get you a size comparison, it's a little larger than most of my carry bark rivers. Here is a Gunny Hunter, which is a little bit shorter in blade and handle length. Actually, the handle might be a little longer, but blade length definitely shorter. Handle is longer on the Gunny and not as broad, and I think the stock thickness is actually more on the Gunny Hunter. Probably 3/16, maybe. Yeah, it must be 3/16. And for something that everybody's going to know, here is the Hyken Harpoon next to a buck 110. That's kind of an interesting comparo, isn't it? So not a huge knife, but not a tiny knife either. I think it's a well-suited blade shape for just about any task that you'd like to employ. Enough straight run of blade for any food prep task, plenty of belly for skinning. The tip elevated just above the axis of the knife to make it okay for skinning without being too pokey. The handle is super well designed for any kind of bushcraft task that you might want to employ. And certainly the blade will do it. We've discussed ad nauseum the splendor of the convex grind and its versatility and its performance. The handle on this one is black canvas micarta polished with 2 Corby bolt pins in aluminum and an aluminum lanyard tube. No liners on this one, just plain black canvas. How did Reed get this away from Mike? Let's talk about this handle, because this is all Reed, okay? And it's really nice. It's sort of a teardrop shape handle, not really a Coke bottle. Thickest point of the handle is right back here, right where the ring finger and pinky grasp it, and a little bit of the middle finger. Just it gives you great control in the back of the handle, so the thumb and forefinger can be busy directing the knife, indexing the knife. It's anchored with the back 3 fingers, which is it's a really nicely done handle. Got a distinct index finger choil that extends down into the ricasso, so it's very generous for the index finger. If you're really bearing down on something in the Sabre Grip, the thumb can rest anywhere in this swale on the spine behind the Harpoon that you want it to. A super powerful Sabre Grip. In the Hammer Grip, We can lay the thumb right down in front of the handle scale to get right up on our work. I love how the thumb meets the plunge grind, so it's all cutting edge and right up to the thumb. Very cool. In our draw cut grips, in that vertical grip it's really good, and then in that horizontal draw cut grip, really, really nice. And if you decided you were going to use this sort of clippy harpoon as a weapon, the reverse grip is excellent. Just a nicely done handle. Got to hand it to you, Reed. Good job. Fit and finish is standard Bark River. Okay. So polishing is perfect. You'll feel no transitions going around the edge of the handle. You'll feel no Corby bolts. It's all good. CPM 154 takes a beautiful satin. Nice crisp corners on this one. Very consistent finish. Let's see how we did in our left and right plunge. Not perfect, but pretty doggone good right here between my index fingers. One area that I'm going to ding the knife, and you guys have probably already noticed it. There really is no sharpening choil per se. If you look closely, this radius does extend a little bit past the plunge, but it's not enough. And there are already problems in that area with the factory sharpening, as you can see. I would probably go ahead and put a sharpening notch in it, something like that. This is a little larger than the stock notch on the Gunny Hunter. I had to fix that a little bit, but not a big deal. It just looks like the CAD program just found a good place for that radius to terminate, and nobody really thought of sharpenability all the way to the base of the edge. But you know, in a first design, I think you kind of nailed it. I haven't really made up my mind aesthetically how I feel about this knife. You know, does it really have a visual tension between blade and handle that grabs the eye? I don't know yet. Actually, when I first pulled this out of the box and looked at it, it did grab my eye, and not in a good way. I had a little bit of a learning curve having this blade shape make sense to my eye, but the more I use the knife and hold the knife in a variety of grips, the more I like the blade shape. It certainly is, for my eye, more functional than aesthetic, and it's really functional. And I gotta mention this, guys, because you guys know my position on factory edges. And my position is, other than the possible exception of Rockstead knives, every factory edge of every knife in the world blows. Well, sometimes the boys at Bark River have a really good day. This would have been one of those days. Whoops, that's probably me, not the knife. Watch this push cut. The paper almost flies apart. So how good is that, you ask? Well, let's see, because here's my Gunny Hunter, a little thicker, a little more abrupt grind, but this has got my edge on it, and it's a year-old knife, and it's well used, but I maintain this edge, and it's sharper. Yes, it's sharper than the new Hyken knife, but man, not a lot sharper. Whoops, I missed. Both of them push cut phone book paper. Obviously, you notice the Gunny's quieter. Guys, that's a factory edge on a Hyken. That's pretty doggone good. Nice and skinny. I think this is a cool kind of project. Of course I do, because I have one going that's sort of the same. Of course, the Gunny Sidekick will be a Bark River branded knife. This is a a private label. Hyken Knives. But the same kind of background, the same kind of perspective came into the design of this knife that did the gunny sidekick. So I think it's kind of cool that Reed's doing this. I really do. And I think it's kind of cool that, you know, Mike gives his friends kind of an opportunity to do stuff like this. It's very neat. So a new player comes into the realm of New Sheffield knife making awesomeness. Reed Hyken and Hyken Knives. As some of you guys may know, end of this week, I'm going to be in Escanaba for the June grind in at Bark River. And maybe, just maybe, I'll have some time on Friday when not much is going on to slide over to the North Star Trading Post and maybe take a little tour with Reed. That'd be pretty cool, huh? Well, that's all for this one. I just thought you'd like to see it. By the way, Hyken Knives available at, you guessed it, KnivesShipFree.com. The best place to buy knives. Period. And I will link in the description of this video not only Reed's website at the North Star Trading Post, but also to the Hyken Knives page at KnivesShipFree. So get Derek and the boys on the horn and get your Hyken knife, my friends. Derek would appreciate it, Reed would appreciate it, Mike would appreciate it. Heck, everybody would. So would you. That is all for this one, my friends. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the Word and this factory Hyken edge are sharp.